Hello world, and welcome to Elevated Intuition. Today we are looking at the energy of your next week. So I am uploading this on July 11th, but this does not mean that it's like necessarily that week unless you're following along. So this is a timeless message. It is appropriate for whenever you discover this reading. So the next 5 to 7 days, the energy related to that. And this is a pick a card reading, so I have piles for you to choose from, 1, 2, and 3. And I will also be popping some crystals onto these if that's the way you would like to choose. Remember, this is a general message, so take what resonates. And for group number 1, the crystal for you guys is going to be this Sardonyx. Group number 2, this is Fuchsite. It's very sparkly. And for group number 3, this is Citrine. So the timestamps are down below in the description. If you are still having a hard time choosing, you can do a deep breath exercise with me. So just make sure that you're comfortable. Go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Let go of any stress. Just be here in the moment. Think about what energy is coming for you this next week. Go ahead and open your eyes, and whichever pile your eyes are drawn to, that's the one for you. So I will see you at your pile. Thank you. Hello, group 1. If you picked the Sardonyx, you are in the right spot. I'm just going to put this over here on the side. Place our number over there on the side. So overall energy for you guys for this week is abundance, Hunter Moon. So this is a very beautiful card. It's also very cyclical, so it reminds you that we have cycles that occur in nature but also occur in our life. Take advantage of the abundance around you when you see it. This can also talk about abundance coming for you if you're not necessarily in that state of abundance right now. Remember, that's just around the corner. Maybe on the next full moon. I love that it's connected to the full moon. You know, it's just, this is a nighttime depiction of things going on because we've got the Hunter Moon right there. But everything is really bright and beautiful. It's fall colors because it's the Hunter Moon, so it occurs in the fall. But it is very much about just taking advantage of this moment of abundance, and almost kind of like a preparing for the winter kind of thing. You know, you've got to, what is it? Make hay while the sun shines. So you've got to be open to opportunities and possibilities. Those things are coming for you. And then also remember that in abundance, there is enough for everyone. So if you've been trapped in this thinking of like you don't deserve something because not everyone can have it, that is limited thinking, and that's something that you need to let go of. You just need to be grateful for your own abundance and for what you have. And then if you need to help people, you can, because you are on like this, you're in this energy and vibe of abundance where you can help others and share with others that your bountiful harvest, if you will. So I'm going to put that right here. I'm going to put these cards over here because we will get to them later. Those are just further advice for after we talk about these guys. So our first card, and I'm loving this for you, is Strength. I'm going to get all of them down and then we'll talk about them. But so far, just take a look at these two next to each other. Abundance and Strength, very much very close to the same energy. I feel like yeah, your abundance, when you are abundant, people around you are abundant too. Okay, so, you know, going back to what I was saying about that limited thinking, where if you're limiting yourself because if you can't have it and if not everybody can have it, that kind of thing, just remember, like, you are definitely a person that put into a position where you have a lot of abundance, where you have a lot of money. You're somebody who will share and help others. And then we've got 8 of Swords. Very interesting. Swords talks about our thought process, ideas. It's air energy. 8 of Swords, obviously you're in a cage here. So when I was talking about limited thinking, yeah, time to let that go. And then we've got the 4 of Swords reversed. You know, both of these cards are a little bit about being, you know, more swords energy, more thoughts coming in, kind of being stagnant too. And then the last card here, 7 of Wands reversed. So yeah, a lot of stagnant energy. I'm really drawn to, and these aren't typically the way that they're depicted. I mean, there's definitely swords around the 8 of Swords and almost a cage. So this very spot on. So 7 of Wands reversed isn't normally depicted like this. It's usually people coming at you. It's not necessarily like, there's at least some movement usually in this energy, but all of this seems very, at least these 3 cards seem very stagnant. And we need to really move past that, to past these kind of like negative thoughts to get into this strength and abundance. The other interesting thing to note is that strength is a major arcana card. This is a major energy. It's something that is here, so it's available to you. I think you are the strength in here. You are also, you're not the lion, you're the girl here, mimicking the lion, but you don't have to mimic the lion to really be the lion or be in control. And I think that this week is about you letting go of some negative thinking, and really finding this quiet calm inside of yourself. I think that, yeah, definitely a quiet calm. 4 of Swords upright talks about you taking a break and relaxing and meditating. When it's in reverse, you are really kind of, and even the 7 of Wands reverse, are kind of like at a point of exhaustion, beating yourself up here with these negative thoughts. And we need to move past that. We really do, because again, this abundance and this strength here is the energies that this week that your guides, spirit would like you to tap into to kind of get over these things. Now, there is a difference here between like these two guys almost being stuck where you are, not able to move, and getting this idea like, you know, you want to be here in this area of abundance. And I think you even know what you need to do to get there, but you're almost like psyching yourself out, and it is getting a little overwhelming for you. I think you would benefit from kind of like almost a brain dump. Get these things out of your head. And if you have a friend that you can vent to and talk to, family, that kind of thing, or even just journaling, this feather here kind of reminds me of like an old-timey quill, where you would benefit of putting those thoughts down on paper. The strength in the 8 of Swords is really interesting to me. I think it's here to remind you that you have the power within yourself to change these things that you're worried about, whatever victim mentality that you is imprisoning you right now, that is keeping you from flying. You're meant to fly. You're meant to be in abundance. You're meant to be this strong person over here. I also love, like, even all of these depictions, there's a certain purity about you. Maybe not necessarily with the tattoo guy. But there's an edginess, but there's a purity about you. Like, you have like this really great, beautiful heart. And I think you just feel things very, very deeply. I think putting boundaries around yourself, not necessarily this cage that keeps you in line, but like boundaries, like you are going to tell yourself that you're not going to think negative thoughts, or you're going to let other people know. Like the Seven of Wands, it's usually people coming after you, and challenging you where you are. So letting people know you're not going to engage, you're not going to challenge, you're not going to be challenged, you're not going to be, you're letting go of these negative things. You're not going to let that affect you anymore. I feel like you have a ton of goals and things that you want to do, and you're just overwhelmed, like I was talking about before, where we just need to like get some stuff on paper, write it down. Like all these negative things, we just need to like brain dump, because you have to clear your mind to get into like the serenity that you need to be into for this abundance and this strength. I also find it interesting when we're talking about strength and we've got the strong man over here, like literally bending bars, like to get out of this cage that you're in. Like you do have this power. And I almost feel like sometimes this victimhood mentality is attractive because you do have a good soul and you are a very pure person, but sometimes like the victim is seen like in this light of being very pure, and like nothing is your fault and these things are happening to you. But I feel like you would benefit by taking responsibility for some things that have gone on. These negative thoughts that you're thinking, like, okay, yes, I did do that, but I'm not going to let that, whatever happened in the past, I'm not going to let that continually haunt me for my future. We're breaking out of this cage now. We are where your tattoos with pride, like the things that you've done, they've shaped you and molded you into this person that you are. And like again, I feel like, especially with the animals here, I feel like you're a very in tune, in touch person with other people. I also feel like maybe the boundaries that you need to set is because other people's negative thinking is impacting you. Like you are empathic in some way and picking that up and then internalizing it for yourself. So very much about getting some rest, like some quality rest, letting go of negativity, and tapping into your strength. So one thing, it's interesting, I don't know why this is necessarily coming into mind here, other than we've got the strength and the 8 of Swords, because a lot of times we feel trapped by something and we need to remember our strength. But I am feeling, it's an old movie, it's called My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and she wanted to get married. She's from like a very proud Greek family, and the guy that she wanted to marry wasn't Greek, and her dad wasn't into it. So she was talking to her mom, and she's very sad, and it was a very traditional family where she was like, but the dad is the head of the household. What he says goes, right? Her dad was against it, so she wasn't going to get her wedding, blah, blah, blah. And that was like a mental cage that she was in. And it was interesting when her mom said, that's true. And then it made her kind of feel sadder for a second. And she's like, but, me, the the woman, like, yeah, okay, the man is the head of the household, but the woman is the neck. And I can turn the head any direction that I want. Then that kind of reminds me of this strength here, is that like this lion, even though it's got the brute force behind it, and even though it could be harmful and it's really kind of like the power figure here, like she's the one calling the shots. She's the one turning the head where she wants it to go. And I think that whatever you're feeling trapped in, you need to remember that. It's also a very quiet calm. So it's just a reminder that you need to quiet your mind and really get your mind into like a better, more abundant space, where if you probably already have this abundance around you. You probably have just really, really great things around you, and you're not really seeing it because of whatever negatives are going on. We need to write those things down, get those things out, get them out of your head, get that out of your head, and start bringing in some more abundant mantras, some more kind things that you can say to yourself, and only allowing in kindness from other people around you. Yeah. So use your strength to break out of this and really look at what you are doing to either, for instance, if your goal is to lose weight, but you have onion rings for lunch, take responsibility of it and then move forward. Let it go. That happened in the past. Tomorrow, do something that's a little bit healthier. Or if I want these onion rings, I'm going to live up to that. That's fine. Do some exercise with it then. Take a walk, eat some fruit, balance it out. So that's what I mean by like actually, instead of just being like, oh no, I can't lose weight, I hate myself, blah, 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 don't say that. Love yourself. You're wonderful. You're beautiful. You have a great heart. Take an honest look at what you're doing, put it down on paper and go, oh, okay. And forgive yourself for that. It's okay. I mean, I think a lot of times we don't do that kind of self-awareness or self-judgment, or we want to be a victim because we don't want to take responsibility of our own lives. But the thing is that you are really, really powerful here, and you need to step into your power and recognize the abundance around you. So final advice cards that we have is Joy and Delight. I love this. This is so much really in this abundance energy. It's to really unclutter your mind and find those little things that really you should be proud of, that really make you happy. I am just, animals. I think that you're somebody who, or at least the cards think you're somebody who is really drawn towards animals, and hopefully that can help you find some bliss, that can help you find some joy, that can help you find some delight. But I love the sun shining here. It's like the moon and the sun together, clearing out this old cycle of negative thinking, this negative self-talk, and really finding some joy. And I think the way you can do that is, I've mentioned journaling and putting down all those negative ideas so that you can clear them and get rid of them, and then really bring in some positive mantras. Like go on the internet. Pinterest is a great place. Find some happy affirmations. Start saying those things to yourself. Start believing them. Start understanding the strength and abundance that you have around you. And then affirmation for positive change. I just said find some affirmations. So find those affirmations for positive change. And I think that when you're honest with yourself in, when I was saying, like, whatever your end goal is, find out, do an inventory of why you think you're not really reaching that goal. And then really create a plan for you to do that. If she wants to get to this boat, she's gonna have to row. She can't just sit here and say, I don't know why I'm not reaching this boat. I don't know why that's not happening. She's gonna need to put an oar in the water. And when she does that, maybe this mermaid will come and help her out. So, yeah, this is just really a good week for you to just unclutter your mind, just calm down a little bit, be gentle with yourself. You do really have this great strength behind you. You have this abundance to look forward to. You have that at your fingertips. What you just need to do is get rid of this negative thinking and really discover the power within yourself. And stop thinking about all the things that you can't do and start thinking about the things that you can do. And then once you start in that way, like, oh, I can put an oar in the water, and then things will progress, and then I can do this, and then I can do that. And you start just really making positive changes in your life, and you'll forget about this victimhood, because who is that person? You're this strong, abundant person. So that's what I have for you, Group 1. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, Group 2. If you picked the Fuchsite, you are in the right spot. Let's take a look at the cards. So overall energy for this week for you, and we have release, waning crescent, release. So waning crescent is when the moon goes from a full moon to a new moon. So it is really appropriate that we have release here, because it is, you know, the moon's getting smaller in the sky. So that's what that means. And 27 is the number, if that's important to you. I love like the butterflies here, but they're interesting butterflies, because usually butterflies are very colorful. These are almost like shadows. They're almost like, and I love this like white light healing energy kind of like coming in, and these negative butterflies going out. So release, let it go, let it flow. Whatever no longer serves you, like just, you can even do this like she's doing here, is like close your eyes and just like, you know, think of a butterfly, imprint on those wings the thing that no longer serves you. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a job that you're still hung up on, maybe it's an old boss, maybe it is just a limiting belief, something that you've said to yourself that you can't do, and just see that on the wings of those butterflies and just let it go. This also reminds me of breathing that I've done it in yoga before, where you breathe in this beautiful, bright energy and go. And then as you breathe it in, you really like let this energy, this white energy, this healing energy that kind of like engulf your whole body. Like imagine it going into your lungs and down to your toes. And then once it touches your toes, like when you're ready to exhale, you can see this dark negative energy start there, but come up and out your nose or your mouth, however you're breathing, and release it and let it go in that way. I love that. I do that a lot, and it just helps you to kind of like take inventory of your muscles and relax what you need to relax. And it's really kind of almost an energetic spring cleaning, an energetic summer cleaning for you. Let's get rid of these things that are weighing us down. And she's holding a sword, so it could be ideas. I also kind of have a feeling that she's like kind of holding on to the ground as she's letting these things go. So she's feeling so much lighter letting that go. So we'll get these advice cards out later. Stick around and see what those are. And let's see what the tarot is. So 9 of Swords reversed. And we've got the 10 of Swords. Ace of Cups, very good. And then Page of Wands reversed. So very nice here because we're talking about like an energetic spring cleaning, energetic summer cleaning, letting go of negative things. And then look at over here, we've got our negative thoughts. So 9 of Swords, it almost feels like she's got like all these eyes on her, or at least she thinks she does. Definitely very self-conscious vibe here. A lot of like fear and secrets maybe, and worry. And it's with it being in reverse, because a 9 of Swords usually depicts like somebody in bed, the swords are kind of hanging over them, and they are like this kind of like a sleepless night. So we've got this kind of downward spiral of despair. 10 of Swords kind of adds to that, like this negative thinking, this negative stuff going on, this worry, anxiety. And it is though, because this is reversed and because we also have the 10, which is the completion of all the swords, it is really the perfect time to let these things go. You have learned your lessons that you needed to from this whatever negative event or negative things that have been going on. I almost feel like it's interesting here where we've got like, we feel like there's all these eyes on us, but a lot of times this is really our inner turmoil, these inner thoughts, these inner things that we're thinking about. And 10 of Swords, and I think, you know, we've got all of these people coming with like these needles to poke into her hair, to poke into her head. Really, it's kind of going into her hair. So it's like everybody is then, when you aren't, when you're carrying around all this negativity and you aren't as confident in yourself as you should be, it almost invites then all of these negative thoughts and things from other people. It almost invites like people to talk about you behind your back. And sometimes it's not as bad as you think it is, because they can kind of see that you're not like in the healthiest place, that you're not thinking about yourself in the healthiest way. And there's these whispers behind your back because people don't really understand where you are or what's going through your mind. And so then they're like, oh my gosh, what's going on with her? Or what's going on with him? Have you seen what's going on? They're acting really weird. And it's like these secrets, these whispers, but you still kind of feel it. You feel all these eyes on you because you don't feel really yourself. But it's time to release that. This can also talk about like a negative relationship that you are getting over or just got out of. And, you know, you've learned your lessons there, and that's great, actually, because you know when you come out of a negative relationship, I know that there's a lot of hurt and there's harm there, and you know, a lot of feelings lost, and sometimes, you know, you're just two people who are not right for each other, and that's okay. And it's okay also to be angry and upset about that, especially if you put a lot of time into it. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be any type of partnership. It can even just be like you just don't feel understood right now. But the 10 of Swords, I don't think that this is necessarily people who dislike you. I think that they just don't understand you because you're being so, you know, you're being so hard on yourself and your own worst critic, and you are just kind of like so in your mind that everybody around you is like, hey, we just don't understand her right now. We just don't understand him. it's not clicking, because they don't know that you're going through something, or they do, but they don't know how to help you. And part of your release could be that you do need to talk to someone and these people around you, and for them to like understand that you are going through pain, and that could be part of your release. If that resonates with you, do it. If you're like, I don't really feel like talking to anybody, but this girl on the internet told me to, maybe that's not for you. Okay, so if it feels good to talk to somebody, like you've been keeping things up, definitely talk to someone, because I think that could help in your release of this. But once you do, I mean, look at over here with the Ace of Cups and the Page of Wands. And I said something about, I think this is almost a relationship, and the reason why is because the Ace of Cups is about relationships. Cups is, but it's a new beginning. So it's a new love, it's a new partnership, it's new friends. That's why I also said, I think that there's these people around you are here to help you. I think that they could help you release. Like you think right now that they have their eyes on you, but I just don't think that they really understand you, or understand that you're in so much pain right now and that you need to release that. But Ace of Cups is just being open to new relationships and new creativity and new compassion. And the compassion doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, you may be out of compassion right now if you are in this, or have recently been in this cycle of hurt or sorrow. It doesn't need to be that deep too. We all just feel misunderstood at some point, but I feel like with the Ace of Cups, it's kind of like a new beginning, and a new understanding for you, and a new understanding if there are people around you that you trust to help you through it. This also is just kind of like, once you let it go, like these negative butterflies fly out of you, and this negativity you get rid of this negativity. But look how beautiful and bright these butterflies are, because this is butterflies where it's just a totally different energy. It's a more positive energy. Like you let go of the bad, and then all of a sudden, like all of this good stuff starts flowing out of you. Like all of this, when you're in this position over here with the Nine of Swords and the Ten of Wands, like you may never have pictured yourself starting a new relationship ever again. But once you release that negative energy and really look at it as how it was transformative for you, of how it helped you grow, even though it was negative and you felt it. And when you think about how it can help you and you start releasing it, then all of a sudden, like I said, this flood of creativity, this flood of just this new potential that you start opening and allowing yourself to feel, new emotions. You feel like your cup is full. Like it's really weird. Like you just let all these things go, but wow, then it starts filling up with love again once you start loving yourself. And then we've got the Page of Wands, but it's reversed. So the Page of Wands is just kind of like a new beginning as well, and this page is like ready to go out and do stuff. In reverse, I don't think you're quite ready yet, but be open to it. I also love the this kind of like spyglass here. It's kind of like just looking at things in a new way, looking at things in a different perspective, and maybe that's this hurt and this harm over here that you're looking at in a new way. And I don't think that you're ready to like really run after all of these cups. It could be something like, or if you were in a relationship over here and now you're like you're starting to feel like, okay, I could actually go and date again, and maybe I will go and just check out this dating app. I'm not ready to put my profile on it yet. I'm not ready to go out there. Or yeah, I'm gonna tell my friends that I'm ready to start, doing more things again. And I will talk to my friend about this person that she wants to hook me up with, but I'm not going to commit to going out with that person yet. So this is just really looking into these new ideas and redirecting this old negative energy into something positive. Also see like the page coming in, like when you get this flood of positivity or this flood of creativity, it's kind of like going all over the place, which is great. And the Page of Wands is like, okay, I'm going to slow it down just a little bit because I'm not sure which direction I want to take that in, and where I ultimately want to go with that, and that's okay. You're going to just go out and investigate a few things, but really realize that these two cards together have like unlimited potential if you allow it. So let's let go of some things. Let's let go of that heaviness and get into this really light, beautiful energy that is available to you. Ground and center. So this is very lovely. This could be a way to help you release. I also love like the swirliness here of like just closing your eyes and almost a surrender, because this is almost a surrender too, and just letting like the negativity go, but doing it in a very like grounded way. So what's a grounded way? A grounded way in this picture is just being outside and enjoying the moment and enjoying where you are. It could be taking off your shoes and putting your feet into some grass. It could be just looking out the window and enjoying the atmosphere around you. It could be going for a walk. It even could be enjoying a beautiful meal. And those are some lovely ways to ground yourself. And I feel like that should be over here. And then tears of joy and sadness. So yeah, I think that should be over here with these guys. Just a confirmation here that tears of sadness, sometimes they, there's some joy behind that as well. I feel like you're going from sadness to joy. I feel like that's your journey this week. And sometimes that's a double-edged sword. Like, maybe this is about a relationship where you're no longer with that person, but you can still like focus on the, you know, the positives and the things that you're grateful for. And maybe that can help you move from your negative thought process to something more positive. You can still think about, okay, you know, this relationship didn't work out for me, and I'm really sad about that because we put a lot of time and energy into it, but I'm happy to have discovered that. I'm happy that I know this isn't going to work out. I'm happy that I know that, you know, this quality in this person is something that I really value, and this quality in this person is something that's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to live with in a relationship. So it's kind of like, you know, we can cry both happy and sad tears. Oh, and did you know that they have different chemical makeups? So that's interesting as well. There's different chemicals kind of behind them. Even and sometimes we're crying those tears at the same time. So it's you know, just to really honor yourself from where you've been and get excited about where you're going once you release and let go of this negativity. I think the tears of sadness and joy kind of help us do that. It's very cathartic. If you do need to cry, you know, go and watch your favorite movie that makes you cry. For me, that's Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley. So let me know what your favorite cathartic movie is. When Harry Met Sally, I love that one too. While You Were Sleeping, what else? There's another Meg Ryan one. Sleepless in Seattle. Yeah, you can kind of age myself, but if you have a great cathartic movie, I would love to hear what yours is and how that helps you release things. So I realize that we've got some tough energy over here, group 2, but look at where you're headed, because she's like headed this way into this beautiful energy, into this Ace of Cups, into this Page of Wands, into this ground and center, because I think you're going to find yourself again. And that's what I love about this for this week, group 2. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, group 3. If you picked the citrine crystal, I think I may have said citron earlier. That's not a crystal, that's a fruit, I think. Anyway, group 3, here we go. The energy for next week. Overall, overreaching energy, 39, Beaver Moon Creation. Look at how cool this card is. First of all, a full moon. Love that. And creation. It's really interesting. We have this whole like grid thing coming out where and it's kind of over this face that's floating with these mystical clouds in the background. I love the kind of like blueprints. It makes me think that this could be something that you have been planning for a while. And this is your message. This is the message from the universe that let's put these plans in motion. Let's start creating. Let's be a creator in the universe. I love also that this is the beaver moon. I don't know when that is. I don't know exactly. I don't know what month that is. If you do, mention it in the comments. But it's cool that it goes back to the beaver, because beavers are really industrious little creatures. I mean, I think they're classified as rodents. They're pretty big rodents if they are, but I mean, for a rodent, they do some crazy, amazing things with the things that they create. If a beaver can redirect a river, and I mean, really, if you think about it, like, look, they redirect rivers, they create ponds, they like really have a command over the landscape and over the place that they live, and that is what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be having a command over your life. They are also kind of, when you think about it, the inspiration for I mean, look at the reservoirs and the dams that we have made. I mean, that came from, I mean, if there weren't beavers, would we have ever thought to really do that? I'm not sure. So very industrious creatures. Let's pull in that spirit and really create something beautiful this week, or get going on it. Depends on how big your plans are, if you can get it done this week. So we will get to these cards in a moment. Let's pull out the tarot cards. So, ooh, lovers. I love that. And then we've got the High Priestess in reverse. Queen of Swords. Nice. And the Empress. Very lovely. And I mean, it is a beautiful card. So I think whatever, I mean, she's coming up last here, last but not least, and whatever it is that your creation is, it is beautiful. It is absolutely amazing. And you are definitely capable of handling it and doing it. You've got 3 major arcana cards. You've got the Lovers, the High Priestess in reverse, and the Empress. And your your regular old tarot card, you're in the minor arcana, is the Queen of Swords. So very very high vibe energy, very much a whatever it is that you're creating is going to be beautiful. It's going to be fantastic. I think there are people that are going to be around you that want to help you and engage in this. Here with the Lovers, the Lovers could be, you know, on the nose lovers, but there's a lot of harmony here, a lot of values being aligned. I think, you know, if you don't have your plans drawn up for what it is exactly that you want to create, and it could be even a relationship that you're creating, I think that you need to put in some time and energy into discovering the qualities that are important to you in this creation. And it very could even just on the nose be that you are trying to create a baby. The Empress here, if you want to take a look at that, she's pregnant. So it does not, don't freak out if that's not what you want. If that is what you want, congrats. If that's not what you want, that's okay. Like, this creation could be just something that is creative to you. That is like, I mean, a lot of people call things their baby. Whatever project it is, whatever, it could be like an art piece, it could be like a project at work, it could be like your own business, like that could be your baby that you are conceiving here with these ideas and these goals. But that's why I think that the Lovers coming in is that I think there's people on your team that want to help you. I think they're excited about helping you, but I think that you really need to get a grasp on the direction that you're moving in and where you're going, like where you want to be long term, because this is like a foundation that you're laying down right now, and you want it to be aligned, in alignment with you, in alignment with your values. This is also talking about, there's like a lot of communication going on, a lot of talking, and a lot of like being very clear with your communication, which the Lovers, it goes back to Gemini. I mean, this is all about communication and being clear with that. But the Queen of Swords as well, I mean, she's somebody who is an expert communicator. So it's time to really step up and tell people exactly what you want. It's time to be very logical. I mentioned something about the grid lines here in this creation, this Beaver Moon card, and it's very much about the Queen of Swords is very logical. It's setting out that grid, setting out that pattern, following those steps, being very logical with your creation, and finding something very beautiful at the end. I also, you know, at the heart of the Lovers is really like kind of bringing two people together and making it whole. So you could be bringing two different ideas together and making it whole and making it communicate and making it something that other people, they may not be able to really see your end vision. That's why I think you need to be very clear if you have people helping you as to what you want and what to expect. The High Priestess in reverse, this is something that, because she's in reverse, it can talk about secrets, but like I said, the Lovers and the Queen of Swords, this is, and this, I mean, blueprints are blueprints. They're very like, you do this and you do that, and this is how things fit together, and this is the size, it calls out everything exactly the way you want. So there shouldn't be surprises. There shouldn't be like the High Priestess in reverse can talk about that, kind of like what's behind the curtain. And I think it's time for you to just be really open and out there and honest with what your expectations are, what it is that you want, and what it is that you want to create. So if this is a relationship, it's really like letting that other person know this is where I see this is going, and this is what I want to do with this. Yeah, open and honest conversations. The High Priestess can talk about your inner voice as well. But I think that, so be honest with yourself as well. Don't be too upset with yourself if the vision isn't coming out the way that you envisioned it. The vision isn't what you envisioned. Kind of go back to the basics, go back to your foundation, go back to the beginning, and kind of like look at here from, this is where we're starting from, and here is my goal, and this is what I want to end up with. So I keep talking about like the Queen of Swords, looking at, I mean, she's really kind of being a visionary here, and she's sitting on top of like this balloon. She's sitting on top of the world, and she's kind of got this long view. So that's what I mean by looking at your like end goal and where you want it to be. Because I think that she is doing that. She's also very independent. So I don't think, back here to being honest with yourself. Like if you need help with something, be honest about that, and be honest with the people that you are asking help from. Like I understand that you're independent and you want to be independent, but you may need help. Now, when you do invite somebody into your space, definitely have boundaries, and that's where your clear communication and your communication skills and you're being very diplomatic and your intellectual understanding will help you here. And then finally, again, the Empress. I mentioned this when we first started. This is a very beautiful card. She is abundant. She is, we've got 3 feminine cards here, and I love it actually with creation, because feminine energy is very creative energy. I mean, literally creating new life, new humans here. So yeah, that is feminine energy. It's very beautiful, it's nurturing, it's abundant. At least this Empress is. And I feel like, the Queen of Swords isn't always that way, but if you're inviting people to come in and help you, or you need help from other people, you might want to embrace that a little bit, because sometimes the Queen of Swords, like when she gets going and rolling on something, she can be a little harsh with people. So it's just having that, again, that open communication. She's very logical as well. So I find this to be a very good balance with the Empress, because the Empress, again, is nurturing, and you kind of have that like lovingness come in here. But I think, with this creation that you are doing is probably something that you do value very highly, and that you do love. So our final advice cards, Sun and Stars. Very interesting. I'm just looking at it with the other cards, because the first thing that I noticed with the Sun and Stars card is like this telescope, this very kind of like, again, long view, kind of like the Queen of Swords. Now the Sun and Stars, I think, is more related to wands than it is necessarily of the Queen of Swords. So it is, brings in a little bit of passion, where the Queen of Swords is air energy, and it's more logical and communicative. But it's very much the same vibe, very much the same, like looking up, looking outward, looking at where you want to take your creation. Going back to like this beaver, when we were talking about how industrious they are. I mean, when they put one log in the river, it's with the intent that they're going to create their home. It's with the intent that they're going to, I don't know if they necessarily plan to create a pond behind their dam, but they are definitely taking control of where they are. And I feel like, just another card about you taking control. And then gratitude and thanks, very beautiful. So Gratitude and thanks, I think, is very connected to the Empress, very much, very close to the same energies. I love the butterflies here. I love the, the abundance. I love the blossoming. I feel like even though these two cards are very kind of logical and kind of like, I don't want to say they're not creative, but they're, just very logical, very kind of like crafted in their space, that this lovely, beautiful energy where you, along in your process, are appreciative of each step of the things, of the beautiful things that you're creating. And that's what I that at each point you just look around, be thankful for the people who are here to help you, be thankful for this beautiful vision that you have, be thankful for your ability to craft it and create it and communicate it, and at the end be thankful for the lovely, beautiful thing that you build. So that's what I have for you, Group 3. It looks really lovely, and I hope you have a fantastic week.